Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of our Senior Fireside Chats. Today I'm joined by a special guest. Would you like to introduce yourself?
I'd be happy to, yes. My name is Kevin Casey.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 75 years old. I'm a native San Franciscan. I've lived in San Francisco all my life.
Mm-hmm.
Worked for the newspapers for most of my life. I'm retired now. As far as education, I went to George Washington High School and a year of City College.
Mm-hmm.
And Galileo Adult Night School also.
Awesome.
So not a lot of formal education, but I started working when I was young at the newspapers. I held many different jobs at the papers, drove a truck for a year. I worked in circulation, home delivery, editorial, street sales, a lot of different jobs, but I enjoyed working there.
Nice.
And it was pretty interesting. I have a couple of interesting things that just come to mind. When President Kennedy was assassinated, I was working in the wire room as a wire attendant, and I was actually the first one in Northern California, anyway, to get the word over the teletype that the president had been shot, perhaps seriously, perhaps fatally, by an assassin's bullet.
Wow, that's...
Just flash, 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 the bells are ringing. I had to tear off the news and give it to the wire editor, and then the whole newsroom lit up, as you can imagine.
Yeah, definitely.
For 3 days,
Yeah.
So that's one experience I had at work. I got to go to the first Beatles concert.
Oh, nice.
It was in '63 at the Cow Palace, and I went to the press conference and was pretty close to the Beatles. I've got pictures of it.
Oh, that's awesome.
One interesting thing about that concert, I didn't have a ticket for a seat, but because of the press, I was let into the Cow Palace, and I was standing between the stage and the front row during the concert, and believe it or not, I could not hear one word of the singing. The 17,000 people were screaming and light bulbs were flashing. So that was an amazing experience. But there's other stories.
Yeah.
That tells a little bit about some of my experiences. I have a family, actually 3 children. One was put up for adoption, a son and a daughter, and I actually have 8 grandchildren. So I've had quite a family life too.
Going into the questions we have lined up today, the first one is dealing with mortality. And I remember in our previous phone call, you said you had some stuff you wanted to share about mortality and what it's like dealing with that, or with the thought of that.
Well, now that I'm 75, of course you think about mortality more deeply, and you come to the conclusion of how real mortality is. Where when you're young, or when I was young, you didn't give it much consideration. You know, you think, well, you're just going to keep living and living and living and living. But as you get older and you lose loved ones and friends and family, you realize when your number's up, and your time will come at some point, and it becomes pretty real that we have our mortality. So as you get older, you realize it more, and it may affect your behaviors and the way you live. Maybe a little more humbly and appreciative and thankful. Talking about being thankful, tomorrow's Thanksgiving. I don't know when people will be listening to this, but happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Any day is good for that, to be thankful. So, you're more aware of mortality as you get older. Of course, it's natural. You see your body wears out a little bit. You have some health problems or little health issues, depending, and you just fully realize that we're here for a short time, they say, and make the most of it, enjoy it.
Yeah.
That's my thought on mortality. Like, again, I just want to emphasize, when I was much younger, you never thought about it, but you thought you're going to be the one that's going to live forever. That was a fantasy.
I'm gonna go a bit off script real quick. Back when I was younger, I used to fear mortality because I didn't know what came after. So I had this fear of death and mortality. Okay, first of all, does that fear exist for you? And if not, then how have you managed to not fear mortality?
Well, when you say fear, I mean fear of the unknown, of the afterlife. Nobody's come back and told us about it yet. Well, Jesus, the promise of heaven. But as I get older, you become more accepting. You accept your mortality. And it's not so much you're afraid of it. I mean, you accept it. What are you going to do? You have no other choice but to accept it. I mean, sometimes you wake up and say, hey, good morning, here for another day. I'm still here. Yeah. No, you accept it. And I think the acceptance diminishes the fear of it. You understand it more. You accept it. You know it's going to happen.
Yeah.
It kind of takes care of itself in that regard. No, I wouldn't say I fear it when I'm afraid to die. I don't want to die. And nobody wants to die.
Right.
I don't think I'm afraid of it. I mean, I don't want to suffer, be in a lot of pain. Who wants that?
Of course.
My wish has always been to just go off like a light switch in the middle of the night, a heart attack or something. Boom, you're gone, and not have to suffer in the hospital for weeks or something, or with a long disease. Yeah. So no, I would be afraid of that. I don't want to suffer for months or years with dementia or Alzheimer's or whatever. This stuff is the quality of life. I've seen it in nursing homes and stuff, and there comes a point where
I see.
the quality of life is not that good.
So what you're saying is then it's not mortality you're scared of, but more of what leads up to it, if I'm interpreting you correctly?
Yes, you could say that. Yeah,
okay.
You could say that. Yeah. I hope I don't undergo some, be wheelchair bound and limited and have people have to help me all the time. But, we'll see. What's to be is to be. You be as careful as you can and live the healthiest life you can.
Yeah.
But
I mean, make the most of what we can, right?
Yes, well said, exactly.
Okay, so I guess this is the time to move on to the second question. Could you describe how you've had to deal with sudden, unexpected life changes and events?
Yeah, in everyone's life that happens, I think, in different ways, different sudden changes.
Right.
I've been through a divorce, which was quite an experience. Never really expected it early on. Got married very, very young. That was an unexpected surprise. I was married in the Catholic Church, and that church teachings are it's supposed to be for life and all that, but it wasn't. So, that was kind of a rude awakening. But, no, in the family, my daughter lost her husband at a young age. He died suddenly at 38 of a heart attack, and she's had to raise her 3 daughters single-handed.
Wow,
and that was a life-changing experience, not only for all of them, but me too. The grandpa, I, of course, no-brainer, wanted to help out as much as I could. Did all I could, but that certainly changed things. There's a lot of blessings. The daughters are wonderful. Amanda, Shannon, and Lizzie, and my daughter, Natalie. They're beautiful, wonderful people. So to have been around them much more than the usual grandparent is because of the circumstances. I got to experience good times with them, and everyone's doing well now. They're doing really well.
That's good
really
to hear.
Good.
Definitely.
Pardon me?
Oh, I said that's great to hear. Definitely,
yeah. They're great. Matter of fact, the three of them are in USF right now.
Oh, nice.
Getting educated by Zoom at the moment.
Yeah, everyone's on Zoom right now, and just
Yeah, studying psychology and art history.
Oh,
and,
nice.
Yeah, so no, they're doing well. My daughter, they have a nice home up in Santa Rosa.
Nice.
Which is good. Their dad, my daughter's husband, had a good job, and so they're taken care of. But that's important.
Yeah.
So that was a life-changing event. When my dad died, I was 16. That really, wow. That was totally unexpected. I don't know if I've ever been the same. He suddenly died of a heart attack. I was 16, and it just really, I was very close to him, and that was hard. But you get through these things, and other people are worried. So I know that, I'm so grateful and blessed in so many ways, and thankful. but we all have our hits through life.
Yeah.
That's the way it is. You make the best of it. You make the best of it. I'm grateful. You just march on and supposed to enjoy life as best you can. You got to make that happen. Eat good, get exercise, stay healthy, enjoy your friends and family. Yeah. All interests. Yeah. So.
Thank you for sharing that. Yeah.
Sure.